Hi everyone, this is Deb Tim and welcome to my channel. We're going to have a look at Elvis and the parrots. You'll see some cichlids I've added. I've changed the scape around a little bit, and I have some sad news to share with you. So please stay tuned. This is one of my 75-gallon aquariums. I have 3 of them. This size is my favorite. It allows me a good variety of fish species to choose from. It's not overwhelmingly big to clean. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room, only being 4 feet long, much smaller than the monster tanks we all secretly fantasize about. When I first got into fish keeping, 20 and 30-gallon tanks were more popular with newbies. Over time, I have learned that going big is so much better, for a couple of reasons. One, you will eventually want a bigger tank as you progress in this hobby. I recommend skipping this step. I personally would begin with a 60 or 75 gallon, providing you have a serious interest in fish keeping and are willing to commit to the time, care, and benefits. As I mentioned before, a larger tank gives you a wider variety of fish to choose from. You will need the same equipment for maintaining your aquarium no matter what size. And believe it or not, a larger tank is easier to keep up, maintaining healthy water parameters and water quality for your fish. However, there is a higher cost that would require some savings and bargain hunting. Elvis, my Jack Dempsey, seems to steal the stage in this tank. From nose to tail, he's about 9 inches. I have heard of this species reaching as much as 12 to 14 inches, but I believe the norm is more 8 and 9 inches. He was an adult when I got him a few years ago. He lived in a 29-gallon aquarium his entire life from juvenile until he came here. He adjusted to a larger tank quickly. He initially put on about another inch or so, but he seems to have reached his maximum size and hasn't grown since. The Jack Dempsey cichlid was discovered in the 1920s, the same time Jack Dempsey Harrison achieved his status as world boxing champion. This seemed to be a fitting name for the stunning, thick-bodied, big eater and fairly aggressive fish that was newly discovered. JD cichlids are not as aggressive as some may believe, although during spawning they become more so. I have found Elvis here to be a pretty easygoing fellow, living with the parrots. They really are a perfect match for him. I did have him with 3 Oscars at one point, but he wasn't happy with them. One, he stressed out so much so that the Oscar eventually died. Tormenting them and keeping them in the corners of the tanks was his mission. He didn't attack or injure them physically. It was more of being a bully that made their lives so miserable. I found them new homes, and they are now both living in a 300-gallon aquarium. I have never witnessed Elvis act territorial with any other fish. Now with a dozen juvenile cichlids in the tank, I wonder if he would make any move toward them. He doesn't bother with them at all, even though they are a good eating size. I believe Elvis is quite happy and knows he can rely on his daily feedings, not to have to strain himself trying to catch his own food. African cichlids are not that easy to catch either, as they're fast and aggressive themselves. They in turn don't bother with the bigger fish they are living with and don't seem to see them as a threat either. When you first get a Jack Dempsey cichlid, you will find them to be skittish, very shy, staying hidden in the back of the tank. This is normal behavior. As they settle, they will become more comfortable. Look at Elvis. He's not shy at all. In fact, most often when I get out my camera, he is there ready to pose, front and center. Elvis has a great personality and interacts well with me and the parrots. You may have noticed I lost one parrotfish. She sustained an injury from a bite from Greta, the bigger parrotfish. It was actually healing, so I thought, but the scales just would not grow back. I treated her for a long time, and finally one morning I found her dead. It broke my heart, as one of my parrots I have had for years now. The juvenile cichlids I added a couple weeks ago, they're doing fine, and the others, leave them alone. I'll probably move them out at some point, but for now, as they're still small, they just add color to this tank. I did a rescape using some new rocks from the basement to change things up a bit. With the mix of fish in this tank, it's very calm and quiet. I know that sounds funny when you see an Aratus. Again, as juveniles, they're fine, but things will change as they become adults. I have noticed the one Aratus is already showing male coloration. That is the first indication of temperament changes. It's a good tank to watch. Interesting fish, pretty colors, and great addition to my show tanks. Although it will need constant attention as these little guys grow. Anytime you have fish that have aggressive tendencies, it is vital to watch them closely. One day, everything can look beautiful and healthy and robust, and the next you can look at a ravaged fish that needs to be removed to a safe tank. As fish keepers, it's up to us to provide them with a safe, healthy home. Not only include scheduled maintenance, but also a safe environment where they can live in relative peace from their other inhabitants. There is so much to learn in this hobby. As my dad used to say, if you stop learning, you will die. So until next time, this is Deb Tim signing out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. I wish you a wonderful day tomorrow, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.